logic of insertion algorithm. Then we'll be discuss about algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step represent of logic if we will creating any programs. Here we will create some algorithms. Algorithm is step-by-step representation. Our logic is only represented here. Here first we will write one type of functions insertion sort. In this here n is represent a number of elements of any list and represent a. What is a? A is our array. This is passed by arguments in our function whenever used in our program in C language. Here some steps also write for representing how to create a function in insertion sort when we creating any program. Step 1 is starting point of our algorithm, which is represented our first loop of for loop, which is initialization. What is initialization? It is I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0. It's like our previous logic, like for loop. It is our logic. Logic will be start like what is exactly creating in our program. So first I is equal to 0. I is equal to 0. Then we'll be creating condition. After condition, then not possible is increment or decrement. First, if condition is true, then it will be go for next condition check. In next condition, what is? It's also one of the sub loop in main loop. So sub loop also here in sub loop j is equal to 0. So for once again initialization is possible. First initialization is possible. Then once again check the condition. If condition is true, then once again check the its subtopic, means sub condition. Here one if condition checked for swapping of variable in our data list, whatever you used in our program. Understand? Here in logic, so algorithm will be represented by where, like step 1 which is in first is initialization. This is for a first loop. I is equal to 0. Here is equal to represent like this, so it is different of our logic and algorithm. Then after step 1, then step 2 is represent what is the exactly condition. If condition is true, so it will be sub point in sub condition or sub loop, whatever you write in your program. So here what we write here, write a second for loop for a second previous variable for a checking condition in our program. Understand? Here second condition is j less than I. What is this condition say? J less than I. It is a condition check. It's previous element. So we will be write after first main loop. So here step 1 is I is equal to 0. Then we'll be write step 2 for which repeat through. Its statement is repeating because we will write a repeating statement. Repeating statement is what there is for loop, while loop, do while loop, etc. Whatever you used in your program. Repeat. So repeat through step 7. Step 7 because this is a main loop. In this main loop, all the sub loops, conditions, swapping, whatever you use in your program. So first main loop, it is for a main loop for condition. If condition is true, so that it will be going sub condition. So here write step. Here you will not write like step 7, whatever you said, step 8, 9. In your whatever you used to write any algorithm of any steps. I write only 7 steps, so I will be write 7th condition of this. Repeat for this. You will write 8 condition, 9 step, whatever you write a steps. So I will write step 7 for a condition true. Which condition? While I less than n. So I less than n. What is I less than n? N is our elements which is display for a sorting in unorganized data in our program. So n will be represented which will be always less than for I. Understand? It is I. This I. If condition is true, so it will be go for a next. Otherwise, what it's do? Step 7. What step 7 is say? I is equal to I plus 1. It is, what is this? That is a one-off increment condition. Understand? Without increment condition, for loop, while loop, there will be no complete of any programs. So after this condition is true, so it will be go for a next sub condition. In next sub condition, we will, what is use? There will be use for loop. Second for loop means second sub loop. Second sub loop, what is described? J is equal to 0. We understand is equal to how to write here for this arrow, and there will be 0 initialize. 0 initialize. SM is our previous loop, like main loop which I loop છે ફર્સ્ટ લૂપ છે, ફર્સ્ટ લૂપ થી સેકન્ડ લૂપમાં જશે અને સેકન્ડ લૂપમાંથી જવા માટે any condition true કરાવવી પડશે. If condition is true, then after state what is the condition? That will be like swapping is possible or not. Here also write a repeat through step 6 while j less than I. If j less than I, this condition is true, so only for swapping is possible, otherwise swapping is not possible. If swapping is not possible, so what will we do? Step 6. Step 6 will be describe what? J is equal to j plus 1. Here j is equal to j plus 1, so it will be go to the next element of our list of data. If list of data will be described, so condition is true, so it will be swapping is possible. Swapping is possible, so what will we do? We will be write swapping logic. So how to write a swapping logic? If this is main logic of this program, what is the main logic of this program? Because this program we will writing a rearranging of data. We display our data. User cannot be say what is the sorting data, what is the unorganized data. So it is, we will enter any unordered data. So it is right. Then will be after this adding this data. So it will be unordered data. If begin first is what? Begin. So here write if condition, like in algorithm, like if a of j, which is second previous element, which is less than, sorry for no less than not, it is greater than a of I, then first begin will be what say begin say, like first here will be write initialization variable, because we will be write what? Swapping also here. So swapping will be like third variable, will be using third partition. Okay, so temp is equal to a of j is equal to a of I, then k initialization for next sub condition of next sub loop. It is a next sub loop. What will be say, like here next other inter between changing possibilation available in our data, so it will be go in this loop, otherwise not. What is possible? Only swapping is correct. If swapping correct, then will be swapping possible. Understand very well. Then and for what end? And is represent the sub logic of this swapping. Okay, after swapping we will write any loop of j is equal to j plus 1, I is equal to I plus 1, and after write this all the sub conditions, sub loops, and end of the program we will write end statement, like step 8 is equal to finish. So it is very easy to write an algorithm of any logic of program. Here we will write only for insert algorithm. I will not write all the program. It is your homework also. You will write all quicksort logic of in converting algorithm, merge sort, and what is etc. Whenever any sort is Shellsort. In Shellsort, this sorting is dividing your array. In a like example of here. Here how many elements entered? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Here 8 elements are entered. So what is doing Shellsort? Shellsort is dividing your array. Array is dividing like 4 4. So 8 will be divided like 2. So 8 will be divided 2. So it will be result like 4. So 4 element is here. 4 element is here. So in the first element of this first division, So this first division, first element is 9. 9 will be compared that second division of the first element. So it is 5. Like here, understanding point of view, dividing possible in this shell sort. We will explain in topics like this sorting techniques was developed by Donald L. Shell in 1956. It is also known as a diminishing increment sort or gap sort. Why gap sort? It will divide it, and gapping sort also here, because it will be sorting like gapping, first gap, second gap, then after the gapping possible whenever not sorting is available. Okay, gap sort, this technique works by comparing the array element by some specific distance gap. The value of gap is not fixed, but it must be less than of size of array. It is also less than, because we will understand basically like here we will enter 8 elements, so gap is also less than also 8. Gap is also divided like so. 4 gap here. How many elements here? So 8. The 8 will be like gap 4. If 4 elements here, so it gaps like 2 and 2, and comparison like that. How to work that? So it will be like here. Suppose we need to sort the following way, like initial array. Here entered some element of in array. We are using the shell sort original sequence n divided by 2, n divided by 4 n as interval in our algorithm. Like in first loop, n is equal to 8 because it is here 8 elements. If 8 elements here, so n will be divided by 2. So gap is what is possible. N divided by 2 means 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2, what result is here? 4. 4 is, it will be here. So it will be like dividing like here. So 9, 8, 3, 7, it will be in first 4 element, and the second 4 element is 5, 6, 4, 1. So it is like a one of gapping sorting. So the 4 elements lying at the interval of n divided by 2. So here checking the first element like 9 and 5 comparison. So here if 5 is greater than of 9, if or 9 is less than of 5, whatever you condition would be give your logic. It is not a compulsory its condition use its condition it should, no, whatever you use, but sorting is possible in our program. So first we will be comparing like 9 is comparing by 5, 8 is comparing 6, 3 is comparing 4, 7 is comparing 1, and after all the elements are compared, if condition true, swapping possible. Swapping is here. If swapping complete, then what do? If loop is complete, dividing is complete. So 4 divide is completed. After 4 divide completed, what n is what? So this gap, previous gap is what? 4 gap. So this gap will be connection like n. N is equal to gap. If gap is what gap? First gap is 4. So now gap is what? So n divided by 2. So n is what? Second, previous gap. Previous gap what? So the 4. If 4 is here, so 4 divided by 2. So it will be like 2 elements. So it will be comparison like what? 9 compare 3, 8 compare 7, 3 compare 5, 7 compare 6, 5, 4, 6, 1, etc. like that. In diagram we will say like here. The 0th element is compared with the 4th element. As will be say like here, if the 0th element is greater than the 4th one, will be decided like here. So write that. Okay. Swapping is also like here. Swapping is possible. In this diagram also say 9 is compared 5. So it will be swapping. 5 is here. 9 is here. Then comparison like conditionally repeating this statement. Okay. Now we will go for in logic. What is logic say? So here we use a while loop. In while loop we will using gap. So logic of shell sort. What say logic of shell sort? Gap is equal to size divided by 2. Size is what? It is a size of our array. Whatever you array take in your program, so size divided by 2. Here whatever 8, so 8 divided by 2, so it is all 4. So gap is equal to 4. In do, first do while condition. First do while condition, what is it? Condition is gap greater than gap divide by 2. मीन्स કે આ કન્ડિશન જ્યાં સુધી ટ્રુ થશે ત્યાં સુધી અંડરની બધી જ કન્ડિશન ટ્રુ થયા કરશે. આ કન્ડિશન ટ્રુ થઈ એટલે અંડરની કન્ડિશન બધી જ રિપીટેડલી પ્રોસેસ થયા કરશે. સો ફર્સ્ટ gap greater than gap divided by 2, so it will be true. If it will be true, then will be one sub condition also here. So sub loop also, do while loop. In do, first what will be say swap. The most important here, swap variable which is used for show swapping is possible, means swapping is do or not in our program. So swap is equal to 0. First swap is equal to 0. It is say what? Swapping is not do. Okay. Then for condition will be start I is equal to 0, I less than size minus gap. It is also say like our previous insertion program. Okay. So size minus gap. So what is it? Size minus gap will be say size is 8. Okay. 8 minus gap. What is gap? Gap is size divided by 2. So gap is what? 4. So size is 8 minus 4. So what is say 4? So I less than 4. Okay. Then I plus plus. I is plus plus where possible. If condition is false, so I plus plus possible. So it is condition is here true. If true, so swapping for like that. Okay. It is also like swapping logic, nothing else also. So swap is equal to 1. So here swapping possible. So swapping is do. If swapping is do, so we will initialize it. Means કે swapping ની વેલ્યુ આપણે અલગ કરી શકીએ. ફર્સ્ટ ની swapping ની વેલ્યુ જેમ કીધું ત્યારે 0 હતી અને સેકન્ડ ની વેલ્યુ જ્યારે 1 થાય છે. In second, swap is equal to 1. So here write if while swap. If swapping possible, so do while loop will be terminate. Okay. So you'll write swap variable because second sub loop, in second sub loop while swap is possible. Okay. In swap is possible, so it will be terminate and then will be get where? So gap divided by 2 is equal to gap divided by 2. Sorry. So gap is what? What is gap? Gap is here 4. 4 is equal to 4 divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2. What? Now gap will be changed. First is 4, then will be changed 4 divided by 2. So for gap is what? 4 divided by 2. So then it is 2. So gap will be changed. If gap change, then will be like here. Gap means 4 less than. First is 4 because first main. Here first main. So first is what? 4 less than. Gap divided by 2. So 4 less than 2. In previous, like here. Okay, I will be concerned in previous. Will be see here not. Okay, here say what? The value of gap is not fixed, but it must be less than the size of array. So it is right here condition. Okay. It is always less than, not be like a greater than, because this greater than, so terminate, loop is terminate. So here write only less than, never will be like greater than. Okay. So gap greater than gap divided by 2. So whatever gap divided by 2 using, if gap divided by 2, it is 4. Here 4 divided by 2. So it is condition true. If condition true, so once again loop is doing your work. Okay. Then will be like once again this gap, then comparison possible. So swapping is possible. The swap value is 1. If swap 1, terminate loop, and then once again gap. It is gapping sort. Okay. So you will be write a algorithm of our previous here. Now we will go for a programming in C. Okay. Okay. First is insertion. Here write some variable like some simple program. Here we will enter 10 element in one array A of 10. So we enter 10 element for entering element for scanning the value. So and here writing our insertion logic. Okay. Then writing a display logic. First is scanning. Same means we will entered value. આપણે આ બધી એન્ટર વેલ્યુ કરવી પડશે. વેલ્યુ એન્ટર થશે પછી જ એને ડિસ્પ્લે કરી શકે. ડિસ્પ્લે કરવા માટેની લૂપ અલગ હોઈ શકે છે એન્ડ ધેન એનું લોજિક સમજવા માટેની લૂપ અલગ હોય છે. તો ફર્સ્ટ વિલ બી રાઇટ scanning variables. So sir, entered variable in array. Okay. Then write logic of insertion. Then write display of variable. So I will run the program. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Then write here. Okay. Okay. So write enter the numbers. Some unordered 8, 7, 9, 6, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 0. So entering unordered data, unorganized data. It is not a sorting, descending like ascending, descending. We will write ascending also, descending also. So it is entered. It's entered. There are many enters of unordered data. This is not unorganization. Okay. So it will be like enter key here. Press. So here see, all the data will be sorting. Which order? Ascending order. Okay. Then second program we will see. Second Shellsort. Okay. Okay. It is what? Gap sort also. Same. Entering element in array. Which type of? And display of array. Okay. In between we will write off our Shellsort logic. Okay. So this Shellsort logic is here. Okay. In gap size minus. Okay. Here says Shellsort logic. We will see what to do. Oh yeah. Okay. In here we will not write gap variable. Sorry. So gap. Here write also swap variable also. Okay. Initialize 0. What error? If any error we will check. Oh yeah, size is here. Here size not because we will write directly statically. Okay. This is not dynamically, this is statically. So size is not here. Here it is 10. Okay. So 10 is here. In size variable we will change this. 10 is here. Okay. Now we will check what it will be do. It is success. Then write. Okay. Entering element in unorganization like 9, 5, 1, 3, 6, 8, 7, 4, 2 and 0. So it will be one like ascending order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is one of the second sorting technique which is called Shellsort or gap sort. It's our 10. Last lecture we will see merge sort or quick sort. Thank you.